Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank Frank McNulty, Representative Frank McNulty, for all the work he does up in the Congress of Colorado, if you will. It's this kind of leadership that makes the difference. And it also, as you all know, it only takes one person, man or woman, to stand up in a crowd to really speak the truth, speak what's on everybody's minds, and then everybody else has more courage. And so Frank McNulty gives all of us more courage to make a difference and to bring about the kind of consciousness shift and the critical mass and then the tipping point that moves past all of this media silent assertion, the media squashing these stories, as was just expressed about what's happening over there in Grand Junction. And to Wanda's question, I want to add this other point. How do you get more Americans involved? How do we get more engagement? How do we get more people to get themselves personally invested? I think it's without a doubt, it's going to become, as this invasion of our country becomes worse and worse, more and more Americans are going to be personally affected. Their schools and classrooms by their children are going to be completely overrun linguistically, completely overrun by very poor attitudes of violence, dissension, and all that's going on right now. You all saw the graduation rates in Detroit as promoted or talked about or reported by Brian Williams and Charles Gibson just about a month ago. Only 24% high school graduation rate in Detroit, Michigan. Not much more than 30 or 40% in all the major schools and high schools in the big cities. And why is that? That's where your major immigration, both legal and illegal, is now occurring in this country. And when you have 30, 40, and we have over 40-something languages here in Denver, Colorado, in the classrooms in the Denver public school system, our own former math and science teacher in Brighton, then you also have that kind of confusion so that the educational process degrades not only for the illegal alien children, but also degrades for our children. And just 2 years ago, as reported by the Rocky Mountain News, was a story called What Happened. There was a 67% dropout flunk-out rate. That hasn't changed in the Denver public schools much because we still have over 40 languages. We have tremendous strife. We have ethnic tension. We have language tension. ESL doesn't work because the children go back into their homes and speak the same languages. They drop out, they join gangs, and so forth. So we're really facing tremendous challenges, and as it continues to get worse on a personal level and a community level, you're going to see more and more Americans join in this thing. That's why I have ultimate confidence that we are going to make major impact. Also, for those of you who may have gone to my website, FrostyWooldridge.com, I'm engaging what is called the Frosty Press Agent Corps. I would like to have 1,000 grandmas, grandpas, moms and dads, and students become part of the press corps that's going to take 12 to 15 of the nation's top speakers on environment and population and immigration and make the connection of what we face in this country as to this population crisis. And each of the emails that I send out when people come to the website, I send them over 100 top radio talk show hosts. I send them all of the top radio programs and TV programs at the highest levels: Glenn Beck, O'Reilly, Hannity, Charlie Rose, Larry King. And the key is to get the speakers and the knowledgeable leaders out there. In fact, Jason Rochek is a part of that list, to get them in front of the cameras and move them to the highest media, so that, as you were saying, why are they getting away with it at the federal level? It's because no one's standing up. Well, we now have a chance. I've got almost 100 people have already joined the Frosty Press Agent Corps, and what happens when we get 1,000? And I think I can get 1,000. And so as that happens, all these emails and all these letters are coming into those major producers. And I've only been on 6 radio shows this week that I haven't been on before. And the really gratifying aspect is that Andy Johnson down in Florida said, "My gosh, we're still getting emails and phone calls this morning. We want you back." I want to get on Kevin James. I want to get on Rick Roberts. I want to get more than George Norrie. I'd like to get on all the other ones, along with these other speakers. And so that's the key. When somebody stands up, everybody falls in, because why? It's happening to all of us. Glenn Spencer has been on the forefront of this thing for, well over 10 years that I've known him. I've been down there, watched his experimental airplanes succeed. I've watched him fight the illegals across the border there in Arizona. His website is extraordinary and keeps us all informed. And you're right. The internet is what's going to save this country. And the worse this thing gets, you're going to see the more Americans are going to get involved. I want to just give you a quick rendition this morning on the Roy Beck video. It's called Immigration by the Numbers. And just to give you just a simple, this is I think the second most downloaded video in the country right now. So again, more and more